First of all, I just want to say this, okay? This is the first thing that really jumped out at me. We have here the King of Swords, and the King of Swords, this is your energy. This is an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And this is also, I feel like, the embodiment. This is your energy, where you are very, very clear about where you stand with people. You are taking a very no-nonsense approach. If people come at you the wrong way, you're going to cut them down, and you're not going to, give them that benefit of the doubt to fool you. And then likewise, on the other hand, the sword is just on one side. On the other hand, if other people are coming to you and they are in financial need, they need some type of financial assistance, or they are down on their luck and they're not able to have the same opportunities to make traction in the professional life, I feel like if they're coming to you with sincerity and with, help, need for assistance, I feel that you're going to be open-hearted and open-minded about helping them. But this is kind of like knowing our place in the world, being very, very sure about our intelligence, being very sure and careful and methodical about the way we communicate with others, knowing very clearly about, boundaries that we need to draw between ourselves and other people, and especially knowing where we stand with other people. So I feel like you're coming into this month with a lot of plans, a lot of ideas, and you're going to be strategizing to manifest these plans and these ideas, to take them into the future with you. What is really crowning this reading here? We have the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups is opportunities. For many of you, they're saying here to err on the safe side. So that means playing it safe, not revealing your cards, not revealing so much about your personal ideas, your personal goals, or even your personal history, because I feel like people are going to be probing and they might lack the boundaries. So you need to, be very, very methodical when you are communicating to make sure that you don't reveal too much. Reveal what is necessary. Don't reveal superfluous information that other people do not need to know. Okay. So maintaining our boundaries with other people, I feel like that's really important. But, going back to this card, this is basically opportunities coming in. People coming to you. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to get on board with me for this project? And I feel like all of these things are nice and great. Your time, however, is very valuable. You're not going to be doing things for other people so that they can ride your coattails. I feel like you will be able to help them, especially the ones that are sincere, but I do feel that your time is limited. So there are going to be options that you're turning down. And I feel for some of you, this could be like love offers, because, the cups energy basically deals with situations where somebody is emotionally invested in a situation, in a person or in a situation. I feel like you have opportunities coming in. And you also have people soliciting you for dating, romance, etc. You also have opportunities to get involved in social causes as well. I mentioned a lot of environmentalists, a lot of animal or human rights activists. And I see a lot of people who are coming to you with a specific social justice agenda. And I feel that you're going to get to pick and choose which route you take. Okay. But I do feel like moving in for this month, you're skeptical, but you're still willing to listen. You're still willing to hear. But I feel like this sense of skepticism associated here with the card that represents you, the King of Swords, it's all about not wanting to be duped, not wanting to be fed a sob story, not wanting to be lied to or even deceived by other people. So I feel like your guard is up, okay? I feel like in the recent past, so this is here, this is the Seven of Cups. So this could be something that happened in the month of July. You have had to kind of sever ties with people when they have revealed themselves to be a certain way. You have people in your past that you've had a long history with. This could even be, relationship, love, romantic partners. And I feel like, yes, the history was deep. The emotional investment was deep. But you didn't have a choice. You had to move away from it because I feel like people were not honorable or were not respectful of being truthful or being honest or being straightforward with you. Okay. This card usually with the this is the Eight of Cups. With the Eight of Cups, it basically indicates a situation we've invested a lot of time in. and we wanted it to work. We have the best intentions, and for whatever reason, it just didn't pan out the way that you want, and the other person was not able to give you that emotional support, so you are moving away from this. And it's right underneath the Seven of Cups. So my apologies for the mix-up. The Seven of Cups here, this is like fantasy versus reality. When it shows up in the reverse, it basically indicates a situation where we thought things were gonna go a certain way, and the reality of it was you might not have had the same emotional investment, or you might have not have had the same agenda with another person. So I feel like some information came to light, some things were revealed, and some truths came into the picture to really dampen significant friendships and significant relationships. And now you find yourself in a position where you can't really, see the best in it anymore. And you have to take off those rose-colored glasses for you to see the reality. What projects would really work out? Who can I really trust? Who is being genuine with me, and who is just, riding my coattails, or, benefiting off my hard work? Okay. So I feel like this is the month in which you know where you stand with other people. So Geminis, I do feel overall friendships, relationships, okay, they need to be reassessed. And I feel like the reassessment process has happened for many of you in the July timeframe. But I feel like moving forward, there is an element here about some people who are genuine. They're down on their luck, or they might have hit some rough spots in their own life, and they need assistance from you. They're reaching out. And I feel like because you might have been burned in the past, you're very, very skeptical about putting yourself in the same predicament, because you're just like, I don't know if you're here to, further your own agenda with total disregard to what my needs are. So I feel like you're going to be approaching people in a very skeptical manner. And I would urge you, I feel like whatever happened in the past, or especially in the month of July, whatever people you have cut out, don't let that energy taint whatever you're dealing with right now. Okay. So it's like once burned, twice shy, and you're going to be extra careful about which people you bring on board, who you're helping, and which causes and people that you can trust in. So I do feel that element here, but I do feel some people are coming through. They are sincere. They are genuine. They're hitting some rough times. And I feel like it would be good for you to try to help them if you can. Okay. If it's not too much, of an energetic drain on you, I feel like it would be in your best interest to help them. I'm getting a major, major big vibe with you and relationship partners. I do feel we have here an element of you still being a little bit hung up on a relationship past. Okay. So the Four of Pentacles is refusing to let go, refusing to change our ideas, refusing to see an alternative like narrative. So I feel like some of you are stubbornly holding on to a specific stance, or holding on to a specific person, if you are dealing here with an earth sign. So this is a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. They are just as stubborn. And I feel like the both of you are going to be hitting some type of an impasse where you can't agree, you can't compromise, you can't come to a common consensus, and both parties become very, very defensive and very ready to fight and to, defend what they believe in. So I feel this element about conflict with especially exes. And I'm almost sensing as if some of you in the past, I'm getting here, this is sort of like revealing too much of ourselves, revealing our feelings too fast, and then finding ourselves in a situation where, for example, you were recently involved with a person, you reveal too much of yourself, and then the other person backs away, and now you're kind of left like, what did I do? Should I not have done that? And I feel like there's this awkwardness when it comes to dealing with like a relationship partner, or a romantic partner, or romantic interest, who might have, it seemed like it had a lot of promise, but now they're taking a step back. and you're also getting defensive. Okay, so if that's what you're dealing with, hash it out, have a conversation. Mercury in retrograde is actually a very good time. So we do have Mercury in retrograde running around this month, and it's gonna be affecting, all of August, as well as towards the midpoint of September. I feel like Mercury in retrograde is a really good time period for people to make up if there has been under misunderstandings, if there has been like communication issues. I feel like it's a good time for both parties to want to clear things up. Okay, reconciliation is not always like rekindling a relationship, but I feel like if a relationship, or if a new, love interest has come into your life, and there has been awkwardness, there has been things that needed to be said, I feel like some of you, it's better for you to hash these things out, and it's best for you to try to resolve these issues. Okay. The other thing that comes into the picture here is, let me talk about children, because this is what I'm sensing. I feel like the energy of children is going to be coming through very strongly. Okay. And I'm going to say that, let me see, if you are a male figure, if you're a male Gemini watching this, I feel like you are grooming your children. So the children could be male or female, boy or girl, whatever gender they are. I feel like you have very, very clear expectations for them. You're grooming them to follow in your footsteps. You're grooming them for, as somebody to continue your legacy. Okay. And one thing that you want to be really careful about, and I am drawn to this image of those children pageant, those pageant children, and a lot of them, they have parents that are trying to live through them. So I feel like you want to be very careful. It's good that you're investing in the development of your children, but I feel like you're grooming them to follow in your footsteps, and you want to ask yourself if that's appropriate, because they're children. They might not know what they want to do just yet. So imposing your lifestyle on them might not be appropriate. Okay. I feel like they look up to you. They really idolize you. You're kind of like the apple of their eye. So they really look up to you. They respect you, but you want to make sure that you're not imposing things on them before they are grown up or grown enough to choose the life path for themselves. Okay. And I do feel for others, especially female Gemini, self-identified female Geminis. I'm also sensing that you have some rebellious children here. Oh, it's supposed to be like this. I feel that you have some rebellious children. They're fiercely independent. They want to, fly the nest. They want to be on their own. They want to travel overseas. They want to do something that they can, that they can, so that they want to undertake something that can allow them to prove themselves to the world, that can allow them to undertake new things, that can allow them to leave the nest. And I feel like you're fiercely, fiercely protective of your children. You're fiercely protective and overprotective of your children. And I feel that you want to make sure, and you want to be aware that they need to do this because it is a part of their life path. They need to do this because their dreams and their aspirations and their emotional, professional, mental development is it's contingent upon, whether or not they are able to be independent. So let them go, let them find their way, and they will come back to the nest, when they're ready. They need to do this to pursue higher dreams, higher calling, and higher aspirations. So I feel like it's a bittersweet process of release, understanding that your children are grown up, understanding that your children are going to need to make decisions on their own, and understanding that they're at a point where they are yearning and striving for their own sense of independence. And you cannot interfere. And, I feel like it's a bittersweet release process. Okay. For those of you who have fire sign children, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, I do feel there are some issues here between independence and closeness. There are some issues here between differences in family values. There are some issues between individuality and group think, or even family loyalty, but I feel like it's individuality versus group think. And so I feel like they want to make their way in the world. They need to be on their own. They need to find out what's right and what's appropriate for them. So I feel like you might have tried to keep them really close under your wings to protect them, to groom them, but it's not appropriate anymore. And so the process of release is going to be coming through for this month. And as a result of it, there's going to be some restructuring within your household. There's going to be some changes, fluctuations, people moving in, people moving out, and your ideals of what, a household is supposed to be. I feel like these things are going to be changing. Okay. On top of that, I do want to emphasize the fact that this is a card overall of spiritual healing, emotional healing as well. So I do feel there are going to be a lot of this like outpouring of support coming through from family members. Even if you have like complicated home environments, such as blended families, multiple parents, stepchildren, adopted children, whatever the situation might be, it seems to me like the housing environment itself is a little bit unorthodox and unconventional, but the love nonetheless is going to shine through because I feel like you have provided a very good support system and a foundation for the kids. Okay. There are people coming in, leaving, traveling, leaving the house. There might even be that restructuring within the house, like the physical foundation of the house. You might be adding, you might be remodeling, adding more units to the house to accommodate a larger family. You might even be, if you have like an ancestral home that you've been hanging on to, because out of, sentimental reason or whatever the reason might be, you're hanging on to a property. And I feel like you're telling yourself it's either for sentimental reasons or it's either you want to hang on to it. So then when your kids are old enough, you want to give it to them. And in the process of hanging on to it, I feel like it's depreciating in value. It's also, getting older, so it might need extensive repairs by the time the kids inherit the house. And so they're telling you to try to release these things, okay? Because they are material things and your kids are okay without them. And then on top of that, I feel like for some of you, you might hang on to a property for sentimental reason. And I do feel that this is the month where the releasing process might need to happen. But I feel like one phase of your life is ending and another one is beginning. And in the process of releasing these things, you're going to feel this weight lifted off your shoulders and you're just going to feel a lot more hopeful and joyful. And you're going to ask yourself, like, I wish I'd done this sooner. I wish I've had the insights, to do this sooner so that it wouldn't be such a burden on me. I'm feeling for a lot of you overall, the star also indicates recognition. So this is like people coming in, asking you for opportunities to collaborate, to work with them, to ally with them, to travel with them. So travel is highly indicated for this month. And I feel like, it's like business travel, traveling to meet people, traveling to talk, traveling to expand your alliances, and especially traveling so that you can do something in the public limelight, so you can interact with a certain demographic group so that you can expand your credibility and visibility in the professional front. And I also feel advocating for a specific social agenda is highly indicated. Okay, so social agendas or even like a social cause. Once again, environmentalism, animal rights, human rights, things that affect humanity on a whole. I feel like you are heavily immersed in this, and your being in the limelight will allow you to reach people from many different walks of life. And I feel that your messages will resonate with them on a very pure soul level. You have a lot of good things coming through for you, Geminis. I'm really, really happy to see this. And I feel like you have worked tirelessly, very, very hard to get you where you are right now. And I feel for many of you, it was a very lonely process. It was a very time consuming process. You didn't, you might have like forego um, financial stability in order to do all of these things because you believed in the merit of it. You believe that one day it is going to work out. One day my time will come. And I feel like this is the month in which your time has arrived. And I feel like you're going to make very strong traction into the world. Okay.